Morning, everyone.
Now everybody's all quiet.
I know. How many people do we have online, Jill?
We have 50 so far.
Fantastic. We'll wait a couple more minutes.
And yeah, and then David will speak for a minute or so.
Good morning, David.
Morning. Good to see everybody.
All right. How are you feeling this morning?
Yeah.
You look good though.
Morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
We need to put a picture up of David climbing the ice wall.
Gosh,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was-
very, very impressive.
That feels
Very
like a
impressive.
lifetime ago at this point.
Where was that at, David?
It was in New Hampshire.
That much ice, huh?
A lot of ice in New Hampshire. Yep.
Was that Mount Washington?
It was near Mount Washington. Yes. No, that was a little section called Texaco. There used to be a Texaco station there. So ice routes have like really interesting names. A lot of locals name it. So that route has like 5 pitches, and that area is known as Texaco because back like in the 50s, there was an old Texaco station there. So
Oh, okay.
name kind of stuck.
Gotcha. I'm getting patinged and dinged everywhere.
We're up to 74, 75.
We love the lingering people coming in right at 9 o'clock.
Those are the most efficient people.
Yes. Meeting starts at 9.
Good morning, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. I'm just trying to get my camera to work.
Morning.
Morning. We do love seeing all of your faces.
It's just the camera I'm trying to use. I don't know why it's not working.
My laptop had a little slide that covered the camera right at the top. It took me forever to figure that one out. You might want to check that.
Oh. Where is video settings? Record participants.
Well, it's a minute after, Jill. Do you want to get started? I guess, Cathy, I'll ask you. Do you want to get started?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started.
All right, well, then I will get rolling. So I'm just gonna get right into it, gang. And man, I'll tell you first of all, this is a weird TSMC for me, and I hope that you'll forgive a little bit of the lack of energy on my part. I'm gonna do my best here, but I actually tested positive on Monday, and so I've been struggling with it a little bit, and you know, I've dodged it for 2 years, it feels like, and finally caught up to me. So I was thinking about it, and one of the things that's become ever apparent to me over the last 2 days is just how much I was struggling for some normalcy in my life, just a routine. And, you know, as I reflect back on what we've been able to do over the last year with the TSMC exec committee and each of you that have continued to show up and support this community, one of the things that I'm most honored by and appreciative of and grateful for is that you guys continue to show up and create this routine together and create this community together. And man, like I know that some of you at various parts of the last year needed this. It was important for you to be able to jump on and see friendly faces and hear some inspiring and uplifting speakers share. And, you know, it's weird for me, like the last time that I'm sort of sitting in this chair as chair for the TSMC, I'm struggling with the same stuff that many of you struggled with throughout the last 12 to 18 months. So it's never been more impactful for me than it is literally at this very moment right now. Kind of handing the baton off to Cathy and looking forward to hearing what Alaina has to say, but just simply seeing your faces on here and seeing, well, most of your faces, a few excluded, you know who you are, but seeing so friendly faces on here and seeing you guys show up and continue to be part of this community, it just means so much more to me today than it has in the previous year. So just wanted to honor you and say thank you for continuing to be part of this. And thank you for kind of giving me some energy this morning too, as we work through this first part. So, but let's jump into it. So we've got a lot to do today. We have a lot to cover. And so I'm going to turn this over to Cathy as quickly as I can, but I want to go through and just kind of recap a couple of things that we were able to accomplish in this past year. We certainly had expectations to be in person. That didn't quite happen. But we were able to hold a virtual MAME Awards Gala, 2 successful community outreach projects. We had some amazing new member coffee chats and successful TSMC virtual breakfast with amazing speakers. JC did a wonderful job for us on that. We're also up for gold at the Nationals for Best Sales and Marketing Council in the country again, and we're going to find out next month at Nationals during the International Builder Show. So certainly looking forward to that. I want to give a special shout out to our sponsors. And Jill, I'm feeling pretty good, so I'm going to keep going while my voice is still working. I had asked Jill maybe to be on deck for me in case my voice gave out, but I want to take the opportunity to thank these folks myself. So corporate level sponsors, the Jim Allen Group, BB&T SunTrust, now Truist, Go Prime Mortgage. Those folks are our corporate level sponsors, and we appreciate your sponsorship and your partnership. Meant the world to us this year. Diamond level sponsors, we have Angel Oak Home Loans, Coastal Federal Credit Union, Lights Unlimited, Movement Mortgage, News and Observer, and Wells Fargo Home Mortgage. I'd also like to give a special shout out to the following people who helped make 2021 so memorable and successful. I really wish I could do this in person. I might crash the stage like a Kanye moment at some point this coming year once we're in person. Somebody's going to have to drag me off, but I want to take a moment to thank these people and recognize them for the amount of work they did. And doing it in this format, I can't quite get the weight and the gravity of what they put into it and articulate that well enough. But I just want to say thank you to these folks. Cathy Young, vice chair, honestly, the best vice chair I've ever been a part of. I think she ran more things than I did, and it was pretty impressive to watch. And she's gonna lead us well this coming year. Jay Upchurch, past chair. John Christie, also known as JC, did a wonderful job with our programs. Erica Oliver and Ashley Rain handled our awards. One of the hardest jobs, having to read off 400 names and all the decimal points and commas and numbers, and did a wonderful job with it. Great job, ladies. MJ Young and Caitlin Austin did a wonderful job with community outreach and adapting and shifting and changing on a dime every time the virus spiked and something shifted. Ned Ligon handled membership for us. Melissa Irvin with communications did a great job of getting our message out and doing a wonderful job of keeping things up to date on social. Julia Reinert and Donna Kemp did a wonderful job for us with education. Janice Nesbitt and Hunter Davis, MAME, I'm sure you guys know them. They've been on the MAME committee and leading the MAME committee. Now, I think this is their 17th year in a row. So wonderful to see that they are hopefully going to be going off into retirement after this one for a bit. In all seriousness, they've done this 3 years and have had to shift and adapt and change. And man, if you saw the amount of work and effort those two put into MAME and what you guys are going to see this coming March, it's going to be a pretty special thing. Alan Oliver, Build Pack, Raina Estrada, Reserves, Linda Dickert, chair appointee. Basically, that means that when I don't have a clue what to do, I look to Linda and Linda tells me what to do. And that happens a lot. So Linda, thank you for continuing to be part of this. And then simply, lastly, Selena Day, but not least, certainly with HBA, Durham, Orange, and Chatham counties. She's our representative from our partner association there. So thank you all so much. Thank you to each of you attendees and everybody that's part of this community. Now I'm going to hand it off to Cathy Young so you guys can actually have a better TSMC than where we found it. She is incredible, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what she does with it. So I'm going to turn my camera off so I can go cough in peace, but I will be listening. So love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Cathy, all you.
We love you too, David. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. First, I'd like to thank David Colgan, and Jill Weaver and the rest of the 2021 TSMC Exec Committee. Let's just give them another round of applause. They did an amazing job for everything that we had to go through last year. So they did an incredible job, and we owe them a huge gift of gratitude for pulling it all together with the constant change. So thank you for those that served on a prior committee. And without you guys, we would never been able to perform like we did. So everybody who does not know me, my name's Cathy Young. I'm excited to be here. I've been involved with the TSMC for quite some time and couldn't be more thrilled to be part of the leadership team and help with another successful year. For those that don't know me, I have 4 other siblings, and you might confuse me sometimes for my twin sister, MJ. She kind of looks like me. If you see us in person, it's okay. You can call me MJ, KJ. I answer to it all. Excuse me. And we're used to it. So one of the things that I do is I love the beach, and I can get down anytime as I can, as much as I can. And my big COVID purchase this year was a camper in 2020. It's a money pit, but I love it. And I try to get down there as often as I can. So I've been in the industry for 16 years with the same company, D.R. Horton. There's the great Mr. D.R. Horton himself right there. And I have to say, who would have ever thought that we'd go through all the things that we did, from the recession to the pandemic over the last 16 years? I've watched our industry evolve and watched ourselves advance. I also have a background in the Army Reserves, deploying once in 2002. And the things that I've found out to be that in this industry and in the military, they're very similar. Whatever the situation, you learn to adapt and overcome, but the best is the camaraderie. We get to build relationships with some of the greatest people we meet, and we are in the greatest industry in one of the greatest areas in the country, and I truly believe that. So in 2020, we were better together, and then we went back to the future in 2021, and the past 2 years, we relied on each other and became more efficient together. My goal for the Triangle Sales and Marketing Council this year is to continue to be the best SMC in the country and help one another achieve our goals and succeed. If we made it through the last 2 years, we can continue to strive and be stronger than ever. In saying that, I'd like to announce our 2022 Sales and Marketing Council Executive Committee. We've got JC, John Christie, as our vice chair this year, David Colgan as our past chair, Jason Jansen and Donna Kemp as our programs, Ashley Rain and Brandy Bentley for our awards, Mary Jo Young and Dan Clem, Caitlin Austin and Raina Estrada for our community outreach, Melissa Irvine and Megan Bennett for communications, Ned Ligon, Angie Swearingen Murphy for our membership. We also have Josh Smith for education, along with Julia Reinhart. And then we have Janice and Hunter, our MAME chairs. Helping with MAME, we also have Erica Oliver and Deb Nagel, Alan Oliver with Build Pack, Rick Dale, Keith Hill, Lisa Baldwins, and Jay Upchurch on our reserves, and Linda Dicker, our chair appointee again. Selena Day with HBA and Orange and Chatham County representative. So let's give a warm welcome to that amazing team. Woo! And we appreciate everything that you guys do. And there's still opportunity for the rest of you guys to join some of our committees and be part of that. And now I want to thank you to our speaker sponsors for 2022. Our corporate level is Jim Allen Group, New Homes, Open Door, Truist. Our diamond group is Angel Oak Home Loans, Coastal Federal Credit Union, Movement Mortgage, News and Observer, Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, excuse me. Thank you all so much. Your support will help us secure great speakers. And when the time is right, we can meet in person at a great venue in Briar Creek, who just happens to have the best bacon. We all miss the bacon. So this morning we have a feature presentation from our very own Alaina Money-Garman, Searching for Solid Ground. I can't wait for this, but first let's announce our sales and performance winners for November and December. Ashley, would you like to do the honors?
Sure. Thank you, Cathy. Good morning, everyone. November was a fantastic month for our industry. So let's get started. For individual adjoining county attached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 9 homes in Cameron Crossing for $2,599,894 goes to Liliana Waugaman with Terramore Homes. The winner for individual adjoining county detached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 11 homes in San Marino for $4,504,792 goes to Courtney Maley with Terramore Homes. The winner for individual Chatham County attached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling one home in Tessera at Mozak for $464,625 goes to Carrie Bornkessel with Fonville Morrissey Barefoot. Individual Chatham County detached, highest sales volume, selling one home in Riverstone Estates for $2,200,000 goes to Carrie Bornkessel with Fonville Morrissey Barefoot. The winner for individual Chatham County detached, highest number of homes sold, selling two homes in Drees on Your Own Lot for $1,441,688 goes to Camden Ferguson with Drees Homes. The winner for individual Durham County attached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling six homes in Nichols Farm for $2,966,920 goes to Michelle Schreiber with D.R. Horton. The winner for individual Durham County detached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling four homes in Brighton Station for $1,759,083 goes to Katina Hughes with Meritage Homes. The winner for individual Orange County attached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling one home in Collins Ridge Townhomes for $339,185 goes to Tyler Ball with D.R. Horton. The winner for individual Orange County detached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling eight homes in Collins Ridge for $3,846,353 goes to Demetria Batchelor with D.R. Horton. The winner for individual Wake County attached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling five homes in Wyckoff for $3,080,831 goes to Mary Ellen Posedel with MI Homes. The winner for individual Wake County detached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling five homes in Bloomfield Estates for $3,269,485 goes to Amanda Lurska, sorry about that, with Drees Homes. Winner for team category 2 or more agents, Chatham County, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling six homes at Legacy at Jordan Lake for $3,909,690 goes to Phyllis Pike and Jim Cirimele with Lennar. Team category 2 or more agents, Durham County, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 19 homes in Findale Farms for $8,546,740 goes to Matt Lovelace and Patty James with Lennar. Team category 2 or more agents, Orange County, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 14 homes in Collins Ridge for $6,390,323 goes to Demetria Batchelor and Tyler Ball with D.R. Horton. Team category 2 or more agents, Wake County, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 19 homes in Smith Farm for $11,213,318 goes to Katie Webb, Declan Burns, and Matt Lovelace with Lennar Homes. Team category 2 to 10 agents, 2 or more communities, multi-communities, highest sale volume and number of homes sold, selling 2 homes in Colbert Farms and the Orchard for $2,838,438 goes to Cathy Lockwood, Allison Guthrie, Alison Stewart-Smull with Hearthstone Luxury Homes. The winner for mega team, 11 or more agents, 2 or more communities, multi-community, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 74 homes in many communities for $42,858,756 goes to the Jim Allen Group, Caldwell Banker, Howard Perry, and Wellston. Total sales submitted for November 2021 was $173,972,107 with a total of 329 homes. Great job, everyone.
Randy, would you like to go ahead and announce the December Sales Performance Awards?
Ashley, do you have the December awards in front of you?
Got it.
Oh, perfect. All right,
Okay.
welcome, Brandy.
Yay, hello. So the winners for December, for individual adjoining county attached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 7 homes in Cameron Crossing for $2,069,994 goes to Liliana Waugaman. The winner for individual adjoining county detached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 10 homes for $3,980,264 goes to Clark Brantley with Terramore Homes. Individual Chatham County detached, highest sales volume and highest number of homes sold, selling 2 homes, goes to Drees On Your Own Lot for $1,654,664, and that goes to Camden Ferguson with Drees Homes. The winner for individual Durham County attached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 2 homes in Nichols Farms for $973,780 goes to Michelle Schreiber with DR Horton. The winner for individual Durham County detached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 4 homes in Brighton Station for $1,700,810 goes to Katina Hughes with Meritage Homes. The winner for individual Orange County attached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 3 homes in Collins Ridge Towns for $1,003,790 goes to Samantha Young with DR Horton. The winner of individual Orange County detached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 8 homes in Collins Ridge for $3,645,095 goes to Demetria Batchelor with DR Horton. The winner of individual Wake County attached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 3 homes in Brickyard for $1,418,278 goes to Chris Carroll with Meritage Homes. The winner of individual Wake County detached, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 9 homes in Haywood Glen for $4,289,991 goes to Laquita Doulgas with Terramore Homes. The winner of teen category, 2 or more agents, Chatham County, highest number of homes sold, selling 7 homes in Chatham Park for $2,369,795 goes to Rich Monahan and Tina Aquilino with Lennar. The winner for teen category, 2 or more agents, Chatham County, highest volume sales, selling 5 homes in Legacy at Jordan Park for $3,499,800 goes to Phyllis Pike and Jim Cirimele with Lennar. The winner for teen category, 2 or more agents, Durham County, highest volume and number of homes sold, selling 12 homes in Findle Farms for $5,359,905 goes to Matt Lovelace and Patty James with Lennar. The winner for teen category, 2 or more agents, Orange County, highest volume and number of homes sold, selling 21 homes for $8,662,610 goes to Demetria Batchelor, Tyler Ball, and Samantha Young with DR Horton. The winner for teen category, 2 or more agents, Wake County, highest volume and number of homes sold, selling 20 homes at 5401 North for $8,804,714 goes to Mark Freeman, Kate Arthur, and Catherine Cooper with Lennar. Teen category 2 to 10 agents, 2 or more communities, multi-community, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 4 homes in the Orchard, Rockford, Matty Woods, and Colvard Farms for $5,298,818 goes to Cathy, Lockwood, Allison, Guthrie, and Allison Stewart-Smull with Hurston Luxury Homes. And the winner for Mega Team, 11 or more agents, 2 or more communities, multi-community, highest sales volume and number of homes sold, selling 77 homes in Barrington, Kimberly, Carlton Point, Vidar Glen, Eastwood of Patterson, Everly Falls Reserve, Farrier Hills, Galloway, Gill Farm, Glenmore, Holden Farm, Homestead, Jameson Cove, Lake Royal, Mitchell Ridge, North Creek Meadows, Old Liberty, Paddocks at Woodford, Perry Farms, Prescott Manor, Sanctuary at Yates Mill, Stonewater, Surrey Meadows, Townsend at Oakwood, Twin Creeks, Vintage Oak, Waterstone Manors, Waterstone Reserve, and Wexford Reserve for $56,583,463 goes to the Jim Allen Group, Caldwell Banker, HPW. Total in sales submitted for November or for December of 2021 was $166,622,017 for a total of selling 296 homes. And Cathy, I think I
Right.
can give it back to you.
Thank you so much. Excuse me. Great job, everyone, and every sale who made every sale possible. That is an incredible number. Who would have ever thought that we would still continue to be building like this, selling and closing homes? So let's congratulate our sales agents one more time. Great job, everyone. So the deadline to enter your January sales is February 9th, and an email reminder with the new form will be sent out the first week of February. So let's hear it from our membership committee. Ned and Angie, come on and announce this year's initiative and new members for November and December.
Hey, sure thing. Even though we are voted the best SMC in the country, we are not the largest. Savannah has the largest SMC, and we want to beat Savannah. We plan to have membership drives, networking events, and other opportunities to bring in new members. So stay tuned. Let's announce our new members for November. Samantha Flood, DR Horton. Gabriel Garcia, DR Horton. Tracy Sutherland, DR Horton. Camden Ferguson, Dries Homes. Jennifer Stinson, Meritage Homes. Kimberly Michael, Movement Mortgage. Brandy Bentley, Open Door. And the new members for December are Chris Fedrelli, Epcon Communities, Tina King, Lennar, Kat Ventura, Lennar. Welcome, everyone. I encourage you to get involved. I know being virtual isn't ideal, but you can still get to know people and network. Speaking of networking, we will continue the new member coffee chat this year. It's a great way to connect with the HBA staff, TSMC exec, and other TSMC members. And it's also a great way to find out what's going on inside the TSMC. The next coffee chat is on January 27th at 9 a.m., the last Thursday of the month. Back to you, Cathy.
Great. So on top of that, we also plan to have 2 community service projects in addition to educational opportunities this year. So stay tuned for updates over the next few weeks. Now let's get an update on all things MAME 2022. Janice and Hunter.
Hey, thank you, Cathy. We are beyond excited to announce that this is the year that we will finally be in person, and the year that we will finally be able to promote pure imagination and celebrate with you all. The MAME committee has been meeting regularly, and the ideas that are coming through are just out of this world, and I can't wait for everyone to see it. Janice?
You would think I'd have that down by now. The online portal is up and running, and the regular entry deadline is fast approaching. You can access the call for entries and the online portal through the HBA website, which is hbawake.com. The deadline for the regular entry is February 15th, so that is just in a couple weeks. Also, MAME would not be a success without all of you. So the call for sponsorships is open. So don't miss out on this great opportunity to feature your company at the event of the year when we're all finally back together. So we're looking forward to seeing you on April 28th. Cathy, back to you.
All right. Thank you so much. We're so excited about MAME. All things MAME. Janice and Hunter, you guys are doing an amazing job, and we thank you for that. And we're very excited to actually be in person. All right, so now to JC. Do you want to introduce this morning's guest speaker?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Cathy. So our guest speaker this morning is no no stranger to our TSMC. You may know her as the owner founder of Garment Homes and her award-winning blog, Build Like a Girl. But she's also a writer and a speaker and the mom to 3 rowdy feminists, and I hear 1 tiny misbehaving dog. So don't miss out on that. She's got a really cool project called the Concept Home that was in the Washington Post, Forbes, the USA Today. So if you haven't checked that out, please Google that. But more importantly, I was talking to a friend the other day, and when I said I was from the Triangle, they said, "Oh, that's where Alaina Garman money is from." And I said, there you go. So when you name a city in front of somebody and they pick one person to talk about, you know you've met somebody that can make a great impression and is somebody that's memorable. So I am really excited to have Alaina here today, and just open up your hearts and minds. She's got a great story to tell us. And so welcome, Alaina, and thank you so much for taking your time to invest in us today.
Thank you for asking me, John. That was a really sweet welcome. And I think you were talking to someone totally biased. I think I know who you were talking to. So I can't remember the first TSMC breakfast that I attended, but I know it was sometime during the summer of 2004. And I remember everyone telling me about the bacon, Cathy, just like you did. And I remember the year because it's the same year I had my first daughter. And probably many of you, I come sales and marketing from another career entirely. I was in healthcare, if you can believe it. And my undergrad is in pre-med bio, which is only good for Jeopardy. And my master's is in healthcare administration. So I had my future solid ground planned out pretty well from my early 20s. I was going to build exactly the life I wanted with a career in healthcare. Now, fast forward to me being 7 months pregnant with my first daughter and crying to and from work every day because I hated my job so much. I was also $50,000 in debt, which may explain the crying, from my student loans. And I felt completely trapped by the very solid ground I created for myself. I had 2 degrees, a job in a stable field, and a family on the way, and I was completely miserable. Against all the wise financial advice you'll ever receive in your life, I cashed a teeny tiny retirement savings account so I could quit my job and find a new one, because I didn't want to just tolerate my job. I wanted to love what I did. And really, I blame Oprah for that. So the first person I knew that loved what they did sold new homes for D.R. Horton. And I just built a home with D.R. Horton at the time, so I decided I would try that. I went to my interview when I was 3 weeks postpartum with my daughter. I could not zip up my skirt suit, but my jacket covered it, thankfully, and it was in no danger of falling down. It was in danger of having to be cut off of me. And I remember telling Allison Moriarty, who is VP at MI right now and who hired me into this industry, that I wanted a job that was personally fulfilling and professionally challenging. And boy, did I get that. I started when my daughter was 9 weeks old, and this summer she will graduate from high school. Time really flies when you love what you do. So this room even virtually, is for all intents and purposes where it happened for me. The room where I started to dream a little bigger for myself, and the room where I started to build an entirely new concept of solid ground. I remember sitting in the audience and hearing the same names over and over, kind of like we did this morning for sales awards, and becoming familiar with the faces on the exec committee and thinking, that's where I want to be. I want my name to be called. I want to sit at that head table and do something important to this space. I need to find a way to contribute. So a few years and one more daughter later, after that first TSMC January meeting, I pitched the idea to form a committee called the Reserves for people to help at events as volunteers. And I actually wasn't sure until today if it still existed, but I'm so happy it still exists. It was for people like me at the time who didn't have, I couldn't do a regular meeting schedule because of my on-site and family obligations with young children. So I wanted to give everybody a chance to contribute and become more involved. The more you put in, the more you get out. All the time. That's the rule everywhere. So at the January SMC meeting in 2008, auspicious year. We were at the Embassy Suites in a huge ballroom, and I got up on stage to roll out my new committee. And I didn't know it at the time, but that's also the day the first seed was planted for me at Garman Homes. And I started the sales team at Garman Homes 2 months later. I won MAME Salesperson of the Year the month after that. Lehman Brothers crashed in August of that same year, and our market took like a downward spiral for a few years. But 13 years later, I get to come back to a January SMC meeting as your speaker. I am so grateful and humbled and honored to get to talk to you today and to be back here at a January meeting. So let's first acknowledge that these past 2 years have been a lot, like a lot. And how we do our business and what our business looks like has really put our commitment, our passion, and our creativity for this industry to the test. If someone had told you 5 years ago what our industry would look like from March of 2020 until now, you wouldn't have believed them. You'd have said, that's impossible. And you'd have been right, because we don't ever know what's truly possible until we find ourselves literally doing something impossible and just refuse to give up until whatever it is becomes possible. So let's acknowledge that we've all done the impossible for the past 2 years. And it's important to acknowledge it because we're going to need that later. I decided to talk about the search for solid ground because this is a concept I've relied on heavily for most of my career, but only realized I was doing fairly recently. So what is solid ground? Well, I'll give you my totally biased perspective on it with a huge disclaimer that it really depends on how you define it and whether that works for you. So I used to define solid ground by things like my job, title, working in a stable industry, having a nice house, solid education, getting married at the right time, starting a family at the right time. I thought of solid ground almost like a checklist, all the things we should do. And I thought of my solid ground as all the things I could check off of that list. But this checklist, it became the very same things I would come to feel trapped by because they felt like the wrong things. It was the wrong job, the wrong industry, the wrong education, and even some wrong relationships. So instead of my solid ground making me feel centered, it made me feel anxious and uneasy. This list that I thought would bring me so much certainty. The irony, am I right? But looking back now, I realized I was just arming myself with that checklist of solid ground as a defense mechanism against uncertainty and against unhappiness, against falling behind and being thought of as unsuccessful, against what I thought other people might think about me. But now I define solid ground as an internal thing. Solid ground to me is knowing and belief. Excuse me. It's knowing when you're exactly where you're supposed to be in your life and also knowing when you're not. It's knowing that you're capable. It's knowing that you're worthy. It's knowing that you're going to get things wrong and believing you can learn from those mistakes. You can recover, you can start over, and you can keep going. Knowing is also knowing that there's so much you don't know. And ultimately, my solid ground became believing in myself no matter what, and despite all evidence to the contrary. It's pretty abstract for solid ground, but stick with me here and I'll tell you a story. So a few years ago, when a fairly new division president at Garmin, my most senior construction superintendent called me out to a large master building community where the chief of inspections in that county wanted to meet with every division president for every builder building in this community. They were changing the way they were going to us construct our condensate lines because the house were freezing. Pretty good idea to have us change the way we constructed them. So I go out to Briar Chapel and it is a very rainy day and I'm wearing a baseball hat and my hair's in a ponytail. I'm in a raincoat and jeans and pink hunter boots because why not, right? So pretty much I'm wearing the same thing every other division president who met with this person was wearing. So I walk in to the house and my construction superintendent introduces me as the division president. And the chief of inspections moves his head to the side, looks me all the way up, all the way down, puts his hands across his chest like this and just repeats, division president. Like like he has no idea what this man just said. And I think I nodded, and then he said, division president? Like he's trying to convince himself now. And I'm uncomfortable. And then the first question out of his mouth was your dad a builder? And before I had time to answer, his second question was your husband a builder? I haven't said a word to this man yet. Then his next question was, well, what'd you major in college? Every question he asked me pushed me off my center, pushed me off my solid ground and into my own doubts about myself. I found myself almost defending how I got in my position. I was completely spinning. So at this point, I looked at my construction superintendent and his inspector, and I realized they were both as uncomfortable as I was in this moment. And then it sort of clicked for me. I was like, wait a second. It is not my job to convince this man that I'm worthy. It is my job to believe in my worth and be worthy. And that's the moment I returned to myself and my solid ground and was able to change the trajectory of the conversation. I said something like, you know what? I just worked really hard and tried to do my best every day. And now I'm here. So why don't you tell me why we're here today? It's important for me to acknowledge that still years later, I can experience moments like this all the time. I still have to prepare myself to show up fully in rooms that aren't expecting me to be who I am, or rooms that want to test my resolve to be my authentic self. And I'm sure this is something all of you have faced in different ways over the years. I can still feel how I felt in that moment on that day, just small and unsure. And I can get totally triggered by imposter syndrome. And the only remedy I know is to remember exactly who I am and who I want to be in that moment and every other moment. And I've gotten there by developing a practice of how to find my own solid ground. So in her new book, Atlas of the Heart, Brene Brown defines a practice as a way of doing, trying, failing, and trying again. And I talk about searching for solid ground as a practice because it encompasses not just the things we do, but the things we try and the ways we fail and try again, just over and over. A practice is not perfect. A practice adapts to what you need, and it's up to you to control. So around this time of year, I feel like we put so much emphasis on vision boards, but we rarely give the same focus and intention to how we get back on track when the vision board doesn't unfold as planned. And the vision board rarely unfolds as planned, right? If we set an expectation with ourselves now that we will get thrown off at some point, when it happens, then we know it's normal. It's just a toll booth stop. It's not a full-on detour to get where you're going. So developing a practice of how to find your own solid ground is how we find our way back to our long-term dreams and ambitions, no matter what's happening in the moment. The practice of building solid ground for yourself is very, very personal. And because I know sharing is caring, I'll tell you what my practice is. So my solid ground has three main components. First is mindfulness, the second is music, and the third is movement. I have some side components that also include short-term vices like eating my feelings, extravagant retail therapy, and watching all the Harry Potter movies. I told you it's very personal. So mindfulness for me always starts with gratitude. It's giving thanks for the people and circumstances that matter the most. And for me, that's my family's safety, their health, and their love. And if I had nothing other than that, I'd be great. Mindfulness is also giving myself credit for how far I've come instead of focusing on the areas or moments where I fell short. It's reminding myself of all that I've overcome and knowing that life's harshest moments can also give us our best character traits. My husband likes to say, you get your best stuff from your worst stuff. This is how we build resilience, by surviving our toughest moments. But building resilience is so important, but no one ever talks about how it feels to build resilience, because building resilience was knowing exactly how many sales we had to make during the real estate crisis to stay open. It was absorbing a 400% lumber price increase in the spring and staying in business and honoring those prices for our customers. Building resilience, spoiler alert, feels awful. But if you feel it all the way through, you can come out on the other side so much wiser and so much stronger. Mindfulness for me is also the content I consume. It's the books that I read, it's the podcasts I download, it's the people I follow on social media, the people I know and the people I don't know. If you've never done an audit of your social media scroll on who makes you feel good and who doesn't, I can't suggest it enough. You do not have to follow anyone who makes you doubt yourself, ever. For music, I can't tell you how I believe in the power of a great playlist. Music has a profound effect on my mood. It's good for nostalgia, it's good for planning, it's good for pumping you up or picking you up when you've fallen. No matter what mood you need, there is a playlist to help you get there. You just have to spend the time curating the music in advance of needing it. Because the last thing you want to do is like cue up a few songs if you need to be cheered up. I think I encourage each one of you to have a theme song for your career, to have a song that you play when you're going to the model and you're about to write a contract, to have one when you have a great day and you want to just celebrate everything that you've done. Know what songs make you feel a certain way and be ready to play it loud when you need it. Movement for me kind of goes hand in hand. I started running the year I graduated from college, and it's been something I come back to again and again as my solid ground. Running makes me feel like myself. I run when I'm angry. I run when I'm sad. I run when I'm giddy. I run when I'm hopeful. Sometimes you'll see me, I might be crying while I'm running. I run because it helps me feel all my emotions all the way through. And when I'm finished, I feel better, which is really the whole point. So there's one final component of my practice of solid ground, and it has to do with this room. This room is where I met some of the very best people in my network. This room is fertile ground for finding solid ground. I met people at TSMC that I didn't have the chance to work with directly. They worked at other companies. I could count on these people as colleagues, as confidants, as collaborators and cheerleaders. And if you're new to this room, you're in the right place to find the very best people in our industry. And if you've been in this room a while, you know how far it goes when someone seasoned reach out to you, like way back then. Be that person. Be that person this year that goes up to somebody new and sort of makes a connection. Connect every chance you can get and build a network of people who know and believe in you no matter what. That's all I have today. I have some time for question and answers, but I hope I left you with a few more questions than answers. I'd love to see how you take this and develop your own practice of solid ground. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, Alaina, that was great stuff, but I got to put you on the hot spot seat right now.
Go ahead.
What's that theme song for you?
Oh, it's Talking Heads, Once in a Lifetime.
There we go. There we go. That was some great stuff. I love the part about having to get back on track, right? Because we all set these goals, we set lofty visions, and getting back on track, realizing it's not going to be a straight line to the top.
No, it never is. Yeah.
That was a great takeaway.
Thank you.
Any quick questions from the audience? Go ahead and unmute and go ahead and shout something out if you have something.
I have a question.
Hi.
Hi, Rochelle Lewis from National Sign Plazas. Thank you. That was very inspiring as a female who's always trying to work my way to the top.
Oh, good.
I was wondering, can you make some recommendations of podcasts and books in relation to leadership and inspiration for career growth?
Absolutely. Thanks for asking. My favorite book for mindfulness and mindset, which I think translates into everything you do, is The 4 Agreements. Have you read that?
No, but my husband, we actually have a poster in the office of it. And my husband loves that book, and I need to read it. We have it.
It's an amazing book. I would say Jen Sincero's book, You Are a Badass, is a great book. Anything from Brene Brown and her podcast, the Daring Greatly podcast is on Spotify, I think. And that one is the best one. She does a few sessions with Adam Grant. Adam Grant is another person I would follow on social media, and anything he writes, I'm about to listen to his new book. Listen to nonfiction because otherwise sometimes I'll sleep. But those are my favorite books for just finding your way and knowing that it all kind of starts with how you view yourself first and how you carry yourself and bring yourself to a room. But good luck. You're gonna do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great. Any other questions? We got time for one, maybe two more. Just unmute and shout it out. All right.
It's a pretty personal subject, so.
It is. So it definitely is. So sometimes people don't want to put it out there. I'm sure there'll be some great. Go ahead.
I have a question for you, Alaina. When are you going to start your podcast?
I'm going to try to build my house first.
And then you're going to do it, right?
Sure, Carla. Yes, you can be my first guest.
Yes, I would love for you to do that. I think it would be great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good deal. All right, let's take it back to Cathy for a special announcement. You guys ready?
All right. Hey guys. Well, first of all, Alaina, thank you so much. That was truly inspiring. And I really do believe, like I mentioned, there's a lot of camaraderie, in this room. You get to meet the best people and interact with the best people. And a lot of them have been in the industry for a long time. So you actually get to take the opportunity to learn from them. I love what you said about just, we all have done the impossible. Who would have thought 2020, March of 2020, all of us were like, oh my God, what is going to happen to this industry? And then we just had some of the most incredible years that we haven't had since 2006. But I love your main point saying that you never have to justify your worth to anyone. That really touched me. We all have trouble sometimes believing in ourselves, and where some of us are our harshest, like we critique ourselves probably harder than anyone else. But I think that touched me. I get emotional when I talk about stuff like that.
It is emotional. It is emotional.
It's an emotional subject.
We have to talk to ourselves the way we talk to people we love.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Talk to yourself any other way.
Absolutely. And we have to inspire others. And sometimes we just have to inspire ourselves. I was recently watching this thing probably on Instagram or something, but sometimes you just got to pat yourself on the back and treat yourself, how you treat others. And I'm just like, oh my God, why do I always beat myself up? When sometimes I just have to say, you did a heck of a job. So thank you so much for that. But I do really encourage everybody who is not part of a committee or who would like to assist in the TSMC in this upcoming year. January 27th is our coffee chat. It's a great opportunity for you to meet some of these people on the exec committees, and then also just interact with your peers. But my special announcement this morning is we actually have a birthday in the house. I'm not sure if I just tried to share my screen, Jill. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but I want to wish Jill Weaver a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jill.
Thank you.
Today is actually her birthday. So let's just wish her off with a birthday song to kick off her day. So I'm not the best singer, but I'm going to kick it off. I don't sound the greatest right now. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Jill.
Happy birthday
to you.
Thank
you guys so much for joining, and we're looking forward to seeing you at our February breakfast. Alaina, thank you so much for speaking again. You were fantastic. It was great seeing you.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking me. It was an honor.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
see you guys soon.